Welcome. My name is Dana, and these are my Catholic memoirs. Come join me and my family as we get ready for the Tridentine Latin Mass. It is the fifth Sunday after Pentecost, and I've been thinking a lot about our journey of bringing the kids to Mass. A lot of times I hear advice like, bring the little ones to Mass. If the church ain't crying, it's dying. It feels really hard sometimes to have little kids at Mass. We attend the TLM, the Tridentine Latin Mass, and our parish doesn't have cry rooms, which makes it even more difficult. We've also tried cry rooms with our oldest, and he didn't want to be separated from the rest of the people at Mass. So that was one of the things that didn't work for us. And all I can really talk about is our experiences and what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. So one of the biggest struggles that we had was getting ready for Mass. We would always be late in the very beginning, trying to get ready an hour before Mass. And it would be chasing the kids around, getting them dressed, trying to pull them away from their toys or trying to get them eat. So it was a lot of struggle. But now that we've gotten into a better mix, it feels a little rewarding to get through that. And then also there was the overcoming of the anxiety of having to deal with all that. So it's been a long and successful journey so far. And you just have to keep trying, just lots of trying, even though there were times where there would be lots of yelling, lots of anger, lots of tears, and just a large lack of peace, which made even enjoying the Mass before we got to church difficult. So what we did for that was to just start getting ready an hour and a half earlier and involve the kids into some of the little tasks that we do, like getting the collection envelopes ready or getting the little prayer books that we bring to Mass together with us. Definitely feeding them beforehand, and sometimes if the toddler falls asleep, then we would have one of the parents, my husband or I, stay in the car to watch him and be there with him while he slept in the parking lot. Not ideal, but our priest said as long as we are on the church grounds during Mass, we're receiving the graces. So at least the toddler would be sleeping on church grounds rather than being driven around or being sent to the in-laws to sleep. And another thing that really helped with Mass, because another challenge with Mass was being able to focus on the readings, the epistle and the gospel readings for that day. What we've done so far is to start reading the readings beforehand. Sometimes I would read it Saturday night, Saturday evening, or we would watch the TLM during breakfast, but we've since stopped watching the TLM on YouTube during breakfast, which I love watching it on Usus Antiquior. If you are interested in learning about the TLM and watching and doing a daily Mass for it, they have an incredible daily live stream every day of their TLM Mass, which has all the readings overlaid on top of the video. So it just makes it very easy, and you pretty much don't even need a missal to follow along. So that was what we did at the beginning, especially during the pandemic, But now, since our kids are having trouble eating with a lot of digital distractions or distractions in general, we haven't been watching TLM on YouTube. So those are the two ways that we would prepare. Another thing that we could try that we haven't yet is to read the readings on the way to mass, because it is like around a 15-minute drive to get to mass. And then otherwise, if one of us is watching the baby or the toddler in the car while he's sleeping and taking a nap, then we would read the readings on our phones while we're doing that. So just little things to, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect with attending mass, but it's little ways that we could still be present and involved with the mass, even if we may not be fully there. And as far as things like toys or books or distractions for the kids, that never work for us. None of them. Even recommendations of sitting at the front row in mass to have the kids pay attention and watch the altar service and priests do their thing did not work. I have a 4-year old who loves to slide around on the pews and roll around and make noise. He's really into making verbal. He's like exploring the sounds he's making, so clicking and gurgling, all that stuff is what he's doing right now. So we just we would just get their energy out by having them take walks in between the silent parts of the mass if we could. And for the most part, the kids are doing pretty okay all the way up until the homily. So that's a good like 15, 20 or so minutes, or 30 minutes maybe, to for the kids to be present in their mass. And then afterwards they get antsy. Another thing that we tried was like water bucks. Those are messy. Bringing little rosaries. Those are loud. Have you heard the rosary beads being like rustled about on a pew? It's loud. Toy cars, you drop them, they roll away. You have to chase after them. And even paper, like little cards or envelopes that my toddler, oh no, my 4-year-old would be able to pick up. He'll just start banging them on the pews. And I didn't think paper would be so loud. And I just had a rude awakening when that happened. So none of that worked for us. Just take them on a walk, get their energy out, let them have fresh air, walk and have let them walk in the Mary Gardens. Teach were just the ways that we could get those wiggles out, because when we're out on the church grounds, we could catechize them on things like the Stations of the Cross. We have a garden with Stations of the Cross, all 14 of them. And there's also statues, like the Pieta statue is there, and also the Seven Sorrows is also there. So lots of little things around the church grounds are very helpful to help catechize the kids while they're too antsy to get to sit in mass. And the last thing that we did to help them get involved was my my youngest really looks forward, or sorry, my oldest really looks forward to giving the money collection envelope. So that's something that he loves to do. And he also does love to go up for communion. So he's just learning how to cross his arms when he goes up for communion. And continue giving him little tips on how to do kneeling and sign of the cross whenever we cross the crucifix, things like that. So those are what work for us. I can't say it will work for everyone, but at least these are my sharing my experiences from how we as a family of 4 have been taking our children to mass and somehow surviving because it was very hard. But as we just kept going and just doing our best. And one of the best advice that my Catholic counselor gave to me, she has a lot of kids. She told me that she would just be there at Mass and look at Jesus and say, I'm here, Lord. I'm here with my children, with your children, and they're yours now. Please take care of them. And when she told me that, I was just like, I was so surprised. And it was an amazing realization that this was such an incredible thing that even I could do and I could try. And that I will keep trying. And I hope that might be very helpful with you for you too. So I will say if you end up going through Mass and bringing little kids, just know that we're rooting you on. It's such a beautiful gift to give them because there are so many blessings that we see, at least from my children that I see now that they're in Mass. They're starting to look, look at the Gregorian chants and even sing some of the Gregorian chants at home, just the tunes of them. Or they will start kissing a crucifix or a rosary whenever they see one. And they'll be interested in seeing the candles and wanting to light them on our altars. So it's difficult, but at the same time it's becoming more and more rewarding the more we see the children grow up. So maybe someday they will be able to sit at the pews quietly and do all of the motions. But until then it's just going to be a wild and crazy adventure with them, and just being patient to let them grow and learn while also practicing uh, kindness and charity and unconditional love for them. So, so I hope that was helpful, and thank you for joining. God bless.